Just north of I-70, there's a stretch of land that's easy to overlook, but every time I come here, it grabs me. The book cliffs rise up like a wall of history and adventure, stretching for miles with endless trails to chase. This trip isn't about pushing limits or conquering crazy obstacles. It's about that feeling of freedom, cruising down roads where the only sounds are the tires and the wind, setting up camp under skies so big they almost swallow you whole. Out here, time slows. The cliffs change with every hour, painting the desert with light and shadow. It's raw, it's real, and it's one of those places that sticks with you long after you've packed up. If you want to experience something different, something alive, the book cliffs are waiting. Join Rasta Dog and I as we hit the road and see what this land has to offer. What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another adventure with Rasta Dog and I. He is here with me playing with his sticks that he found as we were passing through Colorado. And we are now out here in Utah. I got here fairly late yesterday, around about 6 o'clock. I got into camp and got set up in this beautiful cliff area. It sounded like a U-shaped cliff edge back here behind me, and then it just looks out into the prairie and the red rocks of Moab. Moab is about an hour, just about an hour south of me. I'm just north of I-70 right now. Plan for today is that I am gonna go run north of here and kind of see where all these trails connect and lead to. One of the trails is on Onyx off-road, and then there's a lot of various chutes off of that. So I'm just gonna take the main trail as much as I can and then jump off on all the side tracks and explore dead ends and see what kind of awesome views and awesome things we can find out here. But going to finish up some breakfast here, enjoy time with Rasta Dog, get camp packed up, and we'll get on the road here in a few minutes. So come along with us today. It's going to be a great adventure. Blueberry sausages from Casanova's Butchery in Omaha, Nebraska. Things are incredible. Just taking a minute to get the tires aired down to about 16 PSI. I don't think I'm going to be too many rocks and stuff, boulders and stuff on the trail, but it will give a much more comfortable ride in case there's washboard on the trail or anything like that. So just doing that, and then we are gonna head back down probably about 2 or 3 minutes down the trail here back to the main trail and get going here. Man, it's gonna be a good day. The Book Cliffs, spanning over 200 miles across eastern Utah and western Colorado, are named for the remarkable layered sandstone formations that resemble pages of an ancient book. These cliffs have witnessed thousands of years of human history and geological change. Long before European settlers arrived, the area was inhabited by Native American cultures such as Fremont and the Ute tribes. These people left behind petroglyphs, tools, and artifacts that reveal a deep connection to the land, as well as evidence of hunting, gathering, and early agriculture. The Book Cliffs are also significant for their rich fossil beds. Over the years, paleontologists have uncovered dinosaur bones and ancient plant fossils across these lands. Well, we were on the trail this morning, and I have already turned off of the main trail that leads back into the terrain here, and this one is going to loop back into that trail that I was on before I turned off just back there, but it looks like it'll lead quite a ways around. And I think according to the Gaia GPS maps that I'm using on this one, looks like it's going to kind of go through a wash area. So I did check the weather and do not have to worry about rain today, so should be okay to traverse through here. But if you are coming through this route, definitely keep track of rain, because it is going to traverse through wash, the lower wash, and with the flash floods that can happen out here in Moab and this northern area, definitely want to be cautious of that. But I'm gonna continue back on in here, and it is looking absolutely gorgeous. Well, as I suspected, the trail definitely rapidly changed from being out in the open to traversing through the wash area back here. The trees back here that are green are just very, very healthy, and I hope if the camera does it justice, they're like a lime green color, and it's just gorgeous. It's like they're popping with their new, fresh, healthy coat from coming out of the winter. Man, it's gorgeous back in here. Holy wow. It's It's just like otherworldly back here. You could just sit and stare off at the rock formations and everything around forever. Wow. Well, I missed my turn somewhere because this led back to a dead end, and I thought that I was on the trail that would kind of loop around and lead back into the main trail, but I guess not. So I am backtracking a little ways through some of the wash in here, and then there should be a turnoff on my right somewhere that I missed. So we're gonna go back here and see if we can find it. I found my turnoff that I blatantly drove right past, but it was just a little offshoot, and I must have been staring off at the rock formations in front of me because I just blatantly missed it and wasn't paying attention. But we're back on the trail that I wanted to continue on here, so we're gonna continue on this and see where it leads. So far the trail has been really nice. It's just kind of a rocky gravel, sandy mixture, and I'm not even in four-wheel drive at the moment. And I did air down the tires like I mentioned, and I also adjusted the shocks down a notch so it's a little bit of a softer ride. But definitely happy I did that, because with the rocks and the small rocks and stuff, any little vibration would vibrate and you'd feel it driving. But with these Falcon shocks, I've been very, very happy with being able to make those adjustments, and gives you just a much more comfortable ride. And it's not annoying when you get a constant vibration through from bad shocks or just too stiff of a ride. Just enjoying the trail, and Rasta Dog's hanging out his window, enjoying the scenery, enjoying the nice weather, and we're having a great day.
The white settlement that you see in the riverbeds of the Book Cliffs is mostly made up of fine clay, silt, and eroded shale, with a lot of it coming from bentonite clay. This type of clay forms from ancient volcanic ash and is common in Mancos shale, a soft grayish rock layer that breaks down easily when it rains. When storms roll in, rainwater washes over these exposed shale layers, picking up that fine, light-colored settlement and carrying it into the dry washes and seasonal streams. Once the water slows down or dries up, the settlement settles in riverbeds, leaving behind a chalky pale coating that can look almost white. It's super slick when wet and dries into a hard crust, and is a good sign you're walking through ground shaped by millions of years of erosion. Well, I have turned back onto the main trail here from the offshoot that I was taking there for a while, and this one is going to lead back in. There's some more offshoots that I can take, but it does lead all the way back into a dead end, because it looks like it goes into some Native American land beyond that. So I'm going to take this back as far as I can and just keep exploring a little bit. There's supposedly an overlook on this trail somewhere, so I am determined to find it. It does not say where the overlook is on Onyx off-road, so it's kind of what I'm trying to find. But also just taking in the absolutely gorgeous scenery out here. The trail does cross over many sections where water from rain and stuff flows. It seems like on a pretty regular basis, because the ground is still moist in some areas, but otherwise there's no running water on it other than one little spot that I crossed shortly ago. But you can definitely tell if they get rain out here, there is quite a bit of water that would flow across this trail and whatnot. So dry today though. Well, the trail has definitely opened up to high elevation and looking out into the valley that looks down onto I-70. I am trying to find a place where you can get over there and see the edge and everything, but I have not come across anything I can just kind of see out off in the distance of there being something. So I'm hoping that just up here a little ways there might be something that we can see the whole cliff edge. So I'm going to continue on and see what we can find here.
Well, we made it to the furthest point that we can go and to get an overlook, and I think this is well worth the drive back up here. Holy wow. Could see I-70 out right down there. Some kind of town right down here. And wow. Cannot camp right here because this is a memorial site for some gentleman. Douglas Harvey Morrell. This location to be known as Doug's Point. February 26th of 1957 to September 7th of 1984. I think it's a tradition that people adding a rock to Doug's grave here, so I am happy to add one on as well, right up here. Eagle boy. Well, guys, we found ourselves a campsite where I was hoping to be for the night, and holy wow, this is incredible. Check it out. Got the whole view all the way everywhere, all the way over that way. You got snow-capped mountains way out there. You probably can't see, the camera probably doesn't do it justice, but man, oh man. I-70 is all the way out that way, and Green River would be that direction. Man, this is unreal. This is wow. Gotta feed Rasta Dog before I feed myself. Well, I am glad I got stopped when I did, because it is turning into probably going to be a complete downpour for a little while. The clouds off here are pretty dark, and out that way it's pretty clear, but this storm is definitely coming straight at me here. And I'm glad I did not choose to stay down in the valley or in the wash anywhere, because that would probably is going to make some of those water portions flow a little bit. So you never know when something heavy can pop up, but we're up here, we're safe up here. Rasta Dog has had his dinner, and I'm gonna start making my dinner and enjoy this. Well, I just got dinner finished up, and what better timing? It is raining all around me. You can see it raining all the way out there and over this way where it's really dark, but hasn't been doing too much here. It's just now starting to make the sand and stuff a little bit wet, but other than that, man, this is fun. You can see way back in the valley through the trees over this way, out that way, that it is absolutely pouring out there. So I could understand why they put out a flash flood warning, and I would definitely not want to be down in the valley right now. And just in case, happy to be up here. And I'm gonna go up in the tent and sit and eat dinner with Rasta Dog. He's laying down up there, so give him some company and hang out.
Well, this is very interesting. I'm up in the tent eating dinner with Rasta, and a massive clap of thunder hit just off straight out this way, directly in front of us. And man, that was probably the loudest head of thunder I have ever heard. Unfortunately, I didn't get it on camera because I wasn't recording yet, but that opened up to a torrential downpour which is what it's doing right now. And you can see down in the valley, and I'll try and get it on camera, but you can see the water and stuff running down in the valley right now. And so I'm very, very happy we were not down there. But beyond the clouds, it looks like it's going to clear up. So we're just going to sit this one out and enjoy it. I'm just giving Rasta Dog as much comfort as I can because he is terrified.
Well, good morning from camp. Rasta Dog and I are just sitting here having our breakfast. He loves milk, so he is gonna consume a little bit for me as well. He's been watching the noises coming off of the highway. It's straight down that way. Out there, you can just barely see it. The cars look like little Hot Wheels. We had an absolutely incredible night. After the storm went through, the sunset was doing its magic in the skies over the red cliff edges here, and it was just absolutely beautiful. That rainstorm definitely made Rasta very, very scared because of the clap of thunder that seemed like it just hit right like 100 yards away from us. The delay between the two was not much at all, if any. It was very close, but we stayed safe. We stayed dry under the Ironman awning, and we had a great night at camp. But I still gotta get out of here, and I think I've got a good hour or two of trail in order to even get down to the highway from here. So I'm gonna finish up breakfast get camp packed up, and we will get on the trail and see what the rest of this beautiful area has to offer as we make our way back down to I-70. Whoa. Let's go get on the trail, buddy. Oh.
Well, we are back on the trail this morning after spending a lot more time at that campsite than I thought I was going to, but I have just been relaxing this morning and taking in the scenery of that spot. Man, it was gorgeous up there. I feel like you could just see on forever. I don't know if there's a bad spot in Utah of where you can camp and stuff. Every spot, and like every time you go around a turn or a rock formation, it's like something completely different, and it is just wild out here. I have been to Utah before. We've been to Moab in our red JK three or four times. I think it was 4 times we have been there and experienced those trails and all of that. That was before I started doing YouTube and making videos and stuff. But eventually we are going to go back to Moab and experience that and do that as a family again as well. But wanted to touch base on some of the rest of Utah because there is so much more to see in this beautiful state than just Moab. We're working our way out of this trail here, and this is probably the most 4x4 trail that I've been on this trip so far. It's nothing really hard. It's just flexy in some areas, and it's a lot more open rocks than any of the other trails we have been on this adventure yet so far. But we're gonna get our way worked out of here and see what the route looks like getting back down to I-70 from here.
Well, I was driving along the trail heading out, and I noticed there's a plaque of some kind up here across the creek that is flowing pretty well up here. So I'm walking up here to check it out and see what it is. I just spotted it off like the corner of my eye. I was like, what's that? Oh man.
The barrier canyon style petroglyphs are some of the oldest and most iconic rock art in the Southwest. What makes them stand out are the large ghost-like figures, often with big hollow eyes and no arms, along with animals, symbols, and strange shapes that leave a lot to the imagination. The Fremont-style petroglyphs scattered across Utah and the surrounding region, carved by the Fremont people who lived here around 300 to 1300 AD. These rock carvings often show human-like figures with trapezoid-shaped bodies, big headdresses, jewelry, and sometimes weapons or shields. You'll also see bighorn sheep, snakes, and other animals worked into their designs. Seeing these petroglyphs in person is wild. It really makes you wonder what life was like back then and what stories these canyon walls could tell.
Well, that was super cool. Stopping there, completely unexpected, and checking out the petroglyphs there. I did not know they were over here. But, man, those are cool. The one of those is really old, and the other seems like it's been graffitied a little bit, unfortunately, because people don't know how to respect things. Just kind of in this canyon area here, and it's gorgeous.
Well guys, that is gonna do it for this adventure up here just north of I-70 in Utah. Me and Rasta have had an absolute unforgettable time up here in these, mountains, I guess, the red rocks of Utah, and just absolutely gorgeous out here. And then I'm glad I spotted the petroglyphs on the way down as well. That was very, very awesome to check out. I've seen petroglyphs before, the ones up in Moab, but those ones seem like they're even older than some of the ones in Moab, and those ones are in really, really good condition still. So that was really awesome to see. From here, we are going to be continuing heading west. There's another area I'm going to stop here in Utah, and after this video, there'll be another one on Utah as well. Probably going to spend a day and a half, 2 days up there enjoying that area. The trail is like double the length of this one that I ran here. So we'll see how that goes. And Rasta Dog is gonna enjoy that. That one is also gonna be in higher elevation too. So according to the Gaia maps that I use, there is some snow up there. So that might be interesting. And hopefully I can make it through and all the way across to the other side. But I-70 is just ahead. So we're gonna jump on there and get headed west from here. Get some stuff done, talk with Lisa, and let Rasta Dog rest a little bit. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate all the support and all the wonderful comments. Go ahead and drop a comment too. Let me know what you think. I try and respond to all the comments that I get on my channel as well. And if you want to send me a message on Instagram, I'm also on Instagram under Bluebird Overland as well. So thank you guys so much, and we will catch you guys down the road on the next adventure. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye, Rasta Doggy Dog. Ready to go on the next adventure? All right, here we go, Daddy.